levels, we're at a point where if we go one more man down, we have a problem as far as service availability and deliverability. So Jeanette has started some discussions and some different scenarios with the unions. We've started talking with, or the union, we've started talking with the city of Camas as well, if there are some reliefs that can be done underneath the mutual aid agreements and the EMS agreements that are there. We're in discussions with the city's labor attorney that helped negotiate the last contract and with municipal research all together to figure out what happens so that we have a plan A in case we need to activate it.
Let me just also mention Vancouver.
Well, that, yeah, I would hope that
Let me just mention, we got volunteers capable of doing it.
that's what, we've thrown that out there as well, and the unions kind of come back, if I understand the answer correctly, and said you really can't bring up a volunteer because they're a temporary, and in order to be a firefighter full-time, even temporarily, they've got to be covered under LEF, and LEF doesn't allow you to bring on temporaries.
Yeah, I need to validate
So
that.
all of this is kind of going in some big circles.
You need to keep volunteers happy and alive too.
Yep. So we're trying to figure out the best scenario to make sure that we don't go underwater as far as proper
Can I
staffing
go on the
is
record and say
needed.
this pisses me off?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So there you are on fire staffing.
Sean, just a quick question.
Yes.
With the loss of paid personnel, was that incremental, or did that happen due to a specific reason?
Completely incrementally. Every one of them is different.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh.
One was already a planned surgery on a knee, and another one was a hurt back, and another one was,
Surgery and.
yeah,
So
So-
were these things related to on-the-job
Nope.
injuries?
nope,
No.
which is, everybody was worried about, you know, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the only good news.
Yeah.
That's the only good news. The final item that I have this evening is a listing for you all of our city administrator finalists. We are down to 6. One this morning needed to take themselves out of the consideration, so we went from 7 down to 6. It was for all the right reasons, not
No.
any of the wrong reasons that one had to pull themselves back. What I tried to do is give you a quick update alphabetically of the individuals, where they are now, and some of their past employment. Certainly isn't, as concise or as inclusive of their entire resumes, but I tried to hit on the heavy areas, and if they were a planner, a senior planner, that type of stuff in 4 different jurisdictions. I took the last one and not all of the other ones in there, so. That's where we're at this point. All of them are planning to be here at the city, starting March 24th and March 25th for tours, introductions, informal discussions, formal interviews, and interview panels. And we'll see where we get to from there. Our large desire is to make sure that we come out with 2 people that are head and shoulders above the rest. If the scoring is indicative of any of that, it's going to be very difficult to get us to head and shoulders above the rest. Other than probably one individual, the rest of them are all with it. Well, all of them are within 1/2 of a point of each other, all the way through the scoring. So. That's all that I've got. Council, Molly.
Just one question. I think I've probably, the ambulance has been housed, is that now at the fire station and has been for quite some time? Is that correct? So the 39th Street station, that's, forget about it, that's Eckfer and,
Their property.
okay. I've been getting, I got a call from the farmer's market folks, and I do apologize to the council. I had raised my hand to say I would have a wrap-up of what the finance committee had agreed upon or had found out regarding the farmer's market. And I mislaid one of my vital pieces of information, but I'll find it. But basically, and I told them this, is that under no that legally we could not allow them to use our postage meter for their advertising. That we did not like the idea of using our restroom when this is not a monitored building, seeing as we'd had theft in the past when we had nobody here and yet the access was open. That insurance-wise, that RJ had contacted WCIA, so we had gotten information back that indicated that while our traditional insurance, which includes parks and open areas, would be in effect as long as that was a free area, that, but beyond that, they would have to have their own insurance for anything else. And so they were actually not too dissatisfied with that idea. They were still hoping that the city officials were going to be actively promoting the farmers market. And the one question they had that I had no idea how to answer is they want to start doing some promotional work, and they want to know how to word it, because like this one says, hosted by the City of Washougal and Two Rivers Community Group. So that is one I do not know. I don't think this is appropriate, but I'm not sure exactly what verbiage, because we're not like joined at the hips partners here. So that is one thing we'll probably have to have more discussion on. The Parks Board, interestingly enough, at a meeting last week, they would actually like to promote an event this summer and maybe make it in conjunction with Heritage Days. And they're willing to do a lot of the legwork to actually have maybe a parade where kids could be involved, or a heritage parade of some kind. I mean, I think it's a really great idea, and I was very surprised when the Parks Board decided that they wanted to actually be some of the initiating factors in this. So they weren't asking for money from the city or anything, but I'm interested to see where this idea goes.
Cool.
And I think for something in August, Heritage Days for the Two Rivers Heritage Museum is like August 18th. So although it'd be tight, I think there is time to actually start working on something that's in conjunction with Heritage Days that would bring people down. So,
When is the car cruise in, or the?
well, they do have a car cruise in on, they have a car cruise in on the same day as Heritage Days. But
Okay.
there's two actual cruise-ins, and so,
You know, there's one that's the Lions and
yeah.
the Heritage Museum, so.
mhm. So I think that's an interesting idea. And I got a call, or actually I was at an event on Saturday, and a gentleman from the Arborview Homeowners Association, I was at it was the Heritage Museum quarterly meeting, and Suzanne Batchelder did speak at that about Washougal, well, actually trails in the area. So she started on Washougal Parks and Trails and then expanded into Camas and kind of outside. There was really a lot of interest from that group, which amazed me, seeing as about half of them are not ambulatory, really. But, but anyway, this gentleman, John Bayer, his homeowners association would like to improve two lots that apparently the city has owned, so he would like some guidelines. One of them is the lot on 37th north of W, and that's a piece of, it's a residential lot that the city bought last year, and actually, I'm not exactly sure why, but the city bought that lot. They bought it from Riverview Bank. And